Hey guys, welcome back to 5 Minute Theories. Today we're going to be talking about our second theory, which is the time break theory. With the time break theory, it's really complicated and it basically revolves on breaking each line in between time. So the black line down here. And each black line represents the gap between each timeline. So maybe what's different. So each timeline has the present in each, has the future in each, and has the distant future. We chose distant future this time instead of past because switch it up a little, and we've got our logos, Magestic Tigers in the bottom right, Starhero line in the bottom right. Anything you want to add to that before I start?
No, it's all good, mate.
So we're going to start with timeline 1 and timeline 5 because they're the most distant. So timeline 1 has a present right here, right? So its timeline is the original timeline. Let's leave it at that. It's the original timeline. Then we have the most altered timeline, which is
Timeline 5.
which is the most altered. So that shows it's the most altered, even though it looks like a sticker. But still.
It works.
So to get from where we have our first timeline to this one, we have to make progress. To break the timeline that much and to get to that point, we would have to cut down these green lines, making them all one. So the present, the future, and the distant future all together. So what happens is it's like when you blow up the inside of a building, it will all crumble onto itself and become rubble. So what happens with this is that happens, but the present is still there. The present is still on top. And then you end up with your timeline 2. So your timeline 2 will be your x2, right? Your x2. So, because 2x is 1. You get the gist, right? So with x2, we do not repeat the process this time. Instead, it's reversed. So the distant future is now the present, and the present is now the past, if that makes sense, which probably doesn't because timeline is confusing as hell. So what we do this time is we break these lines, and we break these lines, but this time the one left is the distant future. So it turns out we're building our own timeline, but we have to jump from one end to the other, because then it's like using a program where it fills in the middle for you. It leads up to that event. So then I'm going to leave timeline 3 alone for the moment, because that one's probably going to be the most complicated one. So I'm going to leave that one alone for the moment. And we're going to jump on to timeline 4, right? So timeline 4, this time what happens is we need our future. Our future will become our present. So we need to get rid of those two again, but this time keeping the future rather than the distant future and the present like we did in the last two. So this time we're keeping the future, but we want to end up with this in the end. We want to end up with the present just here. We want to end up with that. So what ends up happening is when this one collapses, there's a new one made, but this new one is slightly altered compared to timeline 5. So timeline 5 is the final product. But why we skip timeline 3 is when you're messing with time, it's very difficult to control. So you might end up from going to messing with timeline 1 to timeline 50 million. You have no idea. So I thought I'd use that as an example. And it gets complicated because I've left out that step. So if I leave out that step, I explain more. If I don't, you get my point. So we have the future, present, and distant future. In this one, because it's slightly altered, we just go no. You're all going to need to collapse to make room for everything else. So what ends up happening is timeline 1, 2, and 4 end up becoming and going inside the shell of timeline 3, creating timeline 5. So what ends up happening is you get a bunch of timelines all thrown together, just a mess, just an ugly mess of time, right? And you end up where people believe in the Big Bang Theory. This would be a way of explaining it. It's time going, well, I quit, kaboom. So I'm going to create a new universe, new timeline, restart. So that's how we get timeline 5. This one just here, right? So then we end up with our timeline 5. Timeline 5 being the end product means we got to our destination even after destroying all of this, all of it gone. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this one. This has been 5 Minute Theories, even though it's just over 5 minutes this time. I'm sorry. Goodbye.
And put all your comments down in the comment section below. Have a great day, everybody. Thank you.
Peace out.